looking at our boats here that are going to go racing in our Heat 3B. We've only got 2, and we're a minute 30 away from having boats on the water. Looking there at the U-27, the Miss Apollo, the boat owned by Bruce Ratchford, BWR Racing. He is standing just to our right. Don't know if you saw Bruce over there. And the man himself, Dave Vilwalk, will be behind the wheel of this one. Tough break for Dave yesterday. The boat ran real well, but he got called for a penalty at the start of his second heat, and it didn't disqualify him, but it dropped him down to 4th in the points, and so he would like to score well. From a luck of the draw standpoint, yeah, he's only got 2 boats here, so if he can finish, he'll at least come home in second place as long as he drives clean.
Yeah, and Dave's 71 years old, more experience than everybody. He's broken every single record there is, and he's the man that I saw growing up driving Miss Budweiser. And the reason I'm here actually learning, just absolutely excited to learn more and more about this really incredible sport. But the fact that it's just the same guy behind the wheel as back then is just impressive. Doesn't necessarily make him predictable, but I would imagine. But he has he's quite aggressive from what I can see, and he certainly likes to fight for that inside lane, and he's not afraid to park it on the inside to make sure he gets it.
I think this one will be pretty clean. You're looking at Gunnar O'Farrell and the U-21, the Spirit of America. All we really need to say about Dave Vilwalk and all that he has accomplished in this sport is come next spring in March down in Daytona, Florida, he will be inducted into the Motorsports Hall of Fame of America, going in with one of his dear friends, Dale Earnhardt, and he was very good friends with Dale Sr. and also Dale Jr., so that'll be a big time. I know there's a bunch of us that are planning on going down there and be a part of that big event for him, but right now the big event is Heat 3B of the 2025 APBA Gold Cup from Tri-Cities, Washington, inside 5 minutes, and our boats are starting to push the noses out into the center of the Columbia River. I'm going to walk up front. Come on, Tanner, let's go see what kind of a show these 2 guys can put on for us.
Now, just as we're getting started here, we'll say that 3A is under review. You know, before we started 3A, we did notice that Andrew did get wet in the crossover. Corey moving to the inside of him there. Actually, it was J. Michael Kelly moving to the inside of him, but we'll let you know what happens with that once the officials come up with an answer.
Great call, Tanner. Thank you for checking on that and getting it clean for us. We will watch for that. We did see that happen. We did see a lane change up there, and at least from where we were sitting, it appeared as though perhaps Andrew got a little damp, and the rule says 5 boat lengths or a rooster tail. Well, if you're getting wet, you're probably seeing that rooster tail. So 3 minutes and 40 seconds until our start, 3:40. Both of our boats are, going to say both our boats are up and running, and they were not, but they are now. Dave Vilwalk comes away from the dock there. You're seeing it's Heat 3B. Dave has been known to do that, just kind of sit at the dock for a while, if you will, and make others wonder where he might be hanging out. He is away from the dock. I don't think there will be a whole lot of strategy in this one. As I said before, I think Gunnar will go to the outside there, and I think Dave will slot to an inside lane, but hey, that's why we race, right? You never know. You can draw it out on paper, but we got to see how it plays out.
You never know. And the water is just looking absolutely gorgeous right now.
Yeah, and I've been keeping an eye on the flag on the top of the bridge, and it was hanging pretty stiff straight out this morning when I came across, but it looks really good now. It's laying down. So water conditions are beautiful as Gunnar comes across start-finish line there. Great-looking shot from the drone. The Spirit of America, red, white, and blue. They didn't get to wrap the boat as they had hoped by the time they got over to this event. They will have it wrapped red, white, and blue, trimmed in gold for the Seattle Seafair event next week. But no less patriotic, still got the red, white, and blue, and Spirit of America. Those emblems you see on the non-trips toward the back of the boat on either side, those are emblems representing each branch of our United States military. So this is a salute to service, a salute to our military, and we salute Gunnar O'Farrell and Go Fast Turn Left Racing for the red, white, and blue speedster that Gunnar's had a good time in this weekend.
He certainly has, and what a great shot from this drone. You know, that drone's good for about 140 miles an hour, so you can see the Gunnar's just kind of cruising his way, starting to pull away from the drone now, but it's so cool to see this angle as you can see him kind of turn in. All the drivers describe the fact that if you think about starting the turn, the boat's already turning, and it hooks around that skid fin, and then you basically just hang on for the rest of the corner. But it's awesome to see so close here with the drone.
So score up buoy is the start-finish line at 1:15. Gunner, we followed him all the way up the backstretch, and now you see him pull up alongside Dave Villwock in the U-27 of Miss Apollo. Again, I say, standing to our right down there is Bruce Ratchford himself, very much instrumental in the goings-on of H1 Unlimited. There's the 1:15 mark, clearly a clean score up because there's the start-finish line right there. And Dave's got the lead again. This is not the start. 1 minute still to go. They will go around the course one more time. They could still change lanes at this time, but a boat would have to have, and that would be Gunner. If he wanted to move to the left, he'd have to have at least 5 boat lengths or a rooster tail length overlap of Dave Villwock. I don't look for anything like that to happen. In fact, he's back about 4 boat lengths now. So I think now it's just about timing marks and bring it to the line with a bunch of speed, Tanner.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, Dave's going to want to keep this one clean. He's gotten kind of lucky on the draw with having a two boat heat, and he's been watching Gunner kind of take the outside. In practice, Gunner was 10 miles an hour slower than Dave. Maybe he wasn't putting in a full speed run, but so Dave must know on data he can be patient, he can be smart, and he can use the boat speed to win.
And I think he used that warm-up period where he just trolled up the backstretch before the score-up buoy. I think he was using that as his own test session. But here we go, inside 5 seconds, coming up at 3, 2, 1, mark. And clearly a clean start, good start for both drivers. Dave Villwock got the jump across the line. We call that breaking the clock. Dave was the first one across. It's a clean start officially. They go down the bottom end of the course, and Dave's already got himself established with about a 5 or 6 boat length lead. I don't think this one's going to be the dogfight we've seen in some of the others, Tanner, but it's still very, very important, and we still got to run it on the water. They got to make all 4 laps.
I mean, you still got to average 155 to 160 miles an hour around this thing, and turn in at 195 miles an hour at the end of the straight. So there's still a lot going on, even if it isn't a dogfight between 4 boats.
The youngest driver on the H1 Unlimited circuit squares off against somebody he grew up watching race, and that is the oldest driver we got. He's the master. He is Dave Villwock. It's interesting to watch the line that Villwock's taken around the course. It is a wide one. He went out to about lane 3.5 on that particular upper corner. Now it's clear that Dave has pulled his foot out of it. He's not running very hard. You see the water bouncing off the recovery area of the sponson. When he slows down like that, you see the water starting to splash a little bit further up on the sponson area, which means he's not getting the boat way up out of the water, and there's no reason for him to do, but look what happens when you slow down. You slow down, and Gunner says, I am right here, and he's going to sit right in that right side rear view mirror. Gunner making a run at Dave Villwock here on lap number 2 coming off the corner.
Now, with Dave taking a slighter, wider line, the next time he comes back there, he will find his own wake if he ends up coming to the inside. And we've seen earlier in this year, Dave gets surprised by a wake, go for a flight. In that case, he caught 2 rooster tails and had the most dramatic blowover I've ever seen.
That was quite an event, and I'm sure that one's in the rearview mirror. Happened right about where he is there on the race course now, coming down to put the second of 4 laps in the book. And now you see this time Dave's got the front of the boat up out of the water, dancing a little bit higher. He's got his foot in it a little bit deeper. Gunner's getting an outstanding boat ride on the outside. He's right on the other side of that rooster tail. He's about 5 boat lengths back. Gunner's not going to go away. He's going to just let Dave know, you make a mistake, I'm right here.
There, Dave finds his wake, just the edge of his wake from the previous lap. But it is interesting, comes in fast and ends up tracking out just a little bit on the exit, and then straightens himself out, almost V's the last 3/4 of the turn to get a long straightaway and a high top speed.
That is a good-looking race boat. It is the 3rd winningest hull in H1 Unlimited racing history. It was built in 2007. It's been rebuilt a number of times. It never seems to disappoint. It's a very, very fast hull. It always has been. The boat has a nickname Sharky because when they had the Oberto sponsorship, it had shark's teeth on it, and it had an eye right behind the window there on the side of the canopy.
Now, Dave does pick up the right sponson pretty aggressively down the straightaway. What lessons can he be trying to learn or that he might be able to apply to Heat 4 coming up?
I think he's just seeing, it'll tell him how well he can fly the boat in these conditions. The one thing that's working against him is he's running a heat with only 2 boats, so he's really not going to get the rougher water experience that you're going to see, A, when we put 5 boats out there, and B, when we go 5 times around. It's going to get a lot soupier. But I'm sure they're using this on some level as a test session. Who knows what combination they may have in the boat. They may be running something they never have before. But clearly he wanted to get comfortable on lap number 2 and just kind of cruise around, and Gunnar said, you can't do that. I am right here. This boat does roll. I'm very impressed with Gunnar O'Farrell, the spirit of America, as he goes right underneath our drone shot there. Checkered flag flies for Dave Villwock. It's the U-27 of Miss Apollo. And Bruce Ratsford, you got to be happy because this is your first victory here on the Columbia River with a boat that you own. First place, Dave Villwock. Second goes to Gunnar O'Farrell in the spirit of America.
Yeah, 2 boats or not, it's the same points for a win. So he collects 400 out of that, which is critical for Dave's championship.
And I believe if my memory's working, I think Gunnar picked up 2 second-place finishes yesterday, so now he's got 3 of them. So that's 900 points he's got in the bank, so that's a good thing. And, you know, it doesn't make any difference. You're not the one that's down there doing the draw. You just race whatever they put in front of you, and you got to go out and do your job. He's doing his job. And Gunnar is having a very, I made the comment yesterday, they are quietly having a very good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, really collecting points here as we go. And you never know what's going to happen in the final. We've already had contact with boats here this weekend. We've already had drama. And it seems like the level of tension is pretty high and building. So somebody putting in clean second place finishes every heat still has a chance in the final.